Welcome to the Bookworm Duo, where we explore a variety of books. Let's get started. So today we're doing a deep dive into Toni Collier's book, Don't Try This Alone. It's How to Build Deep Community When You Want to Hide from Your Pain.
That's the one. Really powerful stuff.
Yeah, and our mission basically is to pull out her blueprint. You know, for getting through the absolute worst life throws at you: betrayal, trauma, disappointment, how to not do it alone.
Exactly. And her main point is pretty sharp. Healing is, well, structurally impossible if you try to go it alone.
Impossible. Wow.
She says it really plainly.
Yeah.
We were made for withness. That's her word for it. And look, this isn't just some like feel-good idea. No, she argues it's absolutely necessary for survival even. And the way she opens the book, it starts right there with the moment that really hammered this home for her.
Oh, right. That opening scene, it's intense. You're right there with her. Conrad Hotel, Nashville, 6:00 a.m.
Yep. The phone call. The worst news about her marriage betrayal, a second divorce looming.
And that feeling she describes, disgust, disbelief, just utter despair, it feels so real, so raw.
But here's the crucial part, the thing that sets the stage for the whole book. It wasn't just the pain that defined that morning.
What was it then?
It was the community. Her friends, Jamie and Jessica, they were literally right down the hall.
Wow.
And they were texting her instantly. Things like, you aren't alone today or tomorrow or the next day.
That immediate presence.
Exactly. That's the anchor. That's what community is supposed to look like when everything falls apart. Right there, in the thick of it.
Okay, so let's dig into that. If community is so vital, why do so many of us just retreat? Especially when we're hurting the most. What stops us? What are these barriers she's talking about?
Well, she lays out these 4 core longings, calls them the 4 S's. And when these aren't met, that's when we tend to isolate.
The 4 S's, okay, what are they?
Right, so it's feeling seen, like really known and understood, feeling soothed, someone helping you feel calm, feeling safe, free from judgment, gossip, that kind of thing.
Okay, seen, soothed, safe, and the last one.
And secure. Having those healthy, reliable attachments. When those needs aren't met, we pull back. It's almost instinctual.
She uses examples from her group, right? The 100 Hopeful Women.
Yeah, really powerful stories. Yeah. Women feeling totally unsafe because of constant criticism or completely unseen after a major betrayal. It shows how isolation often isn't really a choice.
It's more like a retreat.
A desperate retreat, yeah. When those relational needs are just completely unmet. Starving, really.
And that leads straight into shame, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That's barrier number 2, and it's a big one. She calls shame the devil's playing field.
Why that specific phrase?
Because its main goal, its function, is to isolate. Shame attacks your identity, makes you feel flawed at your core, and that forces you to hide.
And hiding.
Hiding, she says, and this is key. Hiding is the kryptonite to healing. You just can't get better if you're hiding.
It's a vicious cycle then. Shame makes you hide, hiding keeps you stuck in the pain.
Exactly. So dealing with the shame means facing that fear. The fear of being found out.
Which feels terrifying.
Of course. And we try to hide in, well, sometimes pretty silly ways. She talks about sneaking out as a teenager, stuffing pillows under the covers.
Yeah, been there.
Or her little toddler, Sammy, playing peekaboo, thinking if he can't see you, you definitely can't see him hiding next to the couch.
But we do that as adults too, don't we? Metaphorically ducking behind the couch with our pain.
We absolutely do. But here's the insight she offers, and it's huge. Being found out. It's not a punishment.
It's not.
No, it's an invitation.
Yep.
An invitation to heal differently,
Yeah.
to heal better. Being seen, even in your mess, isn't condemnation. It's the start of repair.
Okay, that shifts things. So if we agree to stop hiding, if we accept that invitation, what next? How do we actually build that community? Especially when, let's be honest, making friends as an adult can feel awkward.
So awkward. She totally gets that. But she gives us a blueprint, like you said, what a good and godly friend actually looks like.
And it's not just someone who likes the same coffee.
Definitely not. It's about character. Authenticity is huge. Loyalty, she quotes Proverbs 17:19, a friend loves at all times. That kind of loyalty.
Okay, authenticity, loyalty.
And, crucially, a willingness to go first, to share their own vulnerability. That builds trust.
Going first, that takes courage.
It really does. And also, the ability to tell you the truth, even the hard truth, but always with grace, not tearing you down.
Okay. That list, authentic, loyal, vulnerable, truthful with grace, it sounds amazing, but also Maybe a bit intimidating. Like, where do you find these people when you're already feeling broken?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Searching for that perfect person feels like too much pressure. And that's where her next strategy comes in. It's about diversification.
Diversification, like in finance?
Kind of. She borrowed this idea from leadership, thinking of your community as your board of directors, not just one BFF.
A board of directors. I like that.
Yeah, the idea is you need the right person in the right place at the right time. Relying on just one person for everything, that's a recipe for burnout for everyone.
So different people fill different roles.
Exactly. Think about her story when her Rendell house flooded. Total chaos.
Oh, yeah, that story was something else.
Right. The team that showed up wasn't just one type of person. You had friends like Belinda and Terrence, boots on the ground with a water vac, doing the hard physical work.
Practical help.
Yep. Then you had professional help, like her friend Jen in real estate, finding temporary housing fast. And emotional support woven through it all. You need different skills, different resources, even people in different locations sometimes.
That makes sense. It's not about finding one superhero friend.
Not at all. And this diversity thing, it goes beyond just skills. She really emphasizes connecting outside your usual circles.
Like her friendship with Aaron.
Exactly. Erin, a white woman going through a similar divorce, similar shame, they connected across differences.
Yeah.
Or Manda and Payal, bridging ethnic backgrounds.
Why is that kind of diversity so important?
Because it builds resilience. A support system with varied perspectives and experiences is just stronger. It's less of an echo chamber, more robust.
Okay. So find different kinds of people, different skills, different backgrounds. And this all leads to what she calls the confessional community.
Yes, this is like the inner circle, the high security vault of friendship.
High security vault. Okay, what defines that?
The core promise. It's a space where, no matter what you confess, doubts, sins, deepest pains, the commitment is absolute. Nobody will ever leave the room.
Wow, that's a serious commitment. How does that work practically?
Well, consistency is key. She's just meeting in person maybe once a year, but having regular, consistent virtual meetings too.
Like how often?
She found that about 3 hours a month worked for her group. And critically, it's not just hanging out. It's intentional time, dedicated to sharing the hard stuff, processing pain.
Not just catching up.
Right. And maybe the most important rule, the commitment to repairing ruptures.
Repairing ruptures. Meaning disagreements.
Yeah, conflict is going to happen, right? But in this kind of community, you deal with it immediately. You repair it. That's what keeps the space safe. Because trust is everything here, especially when you're dealing with deep pain.
Okay, building this sounds intentional, hard work even, but necessary. What about sustaining it? How do you keep hope alive on this journey? Because healing isn't linear.
Oh, definitely not. And she talks about that. Even after building this community, she hit another really rough patch. Had to grieve huge losses of control. The divorce finalized, her book release got postponed, speaking gigs dried up.
That sounds incredibly difficult, losing control like that.
It was.
Yeah.
But through that grief, she had this kind of aha moment about humility, about control, really.
What was the realization?
She started thinking about King David wanting to build a temple, but God having Solomon do it instead. And she realized, sometimes God works things out for your good through someone else's strength, not your own.
So accepting help isn't weakness.
It's actually an act of spiritual reliance.
Yeah.
It's admitting you can't do it alone, and that's okay. God will use others.
Letting others carry the load.
Which brings us to that really intense story about one particular month she had, June 2024, I think.
Oh, man, that list was overwhelming just to read.
Right. It was just one thing after another. Migraines, water shut off, losing a vacation rental, strep throat, her kid got lost briefly, a black snake in the house, laptop dying, just relentless.
Pure chaos. How did she even cope?
She got to a point where she was too exhausted, too worn down to even pray for herself.
I can imagine.
So this is where that biblical idea comes in Galatians 6:2. Carry each other's burdens.
Yeah.
It became super practical.
How so?
She didn't just vaguely ask for prayer. She sent her confessional community a specific list. Itemized needs, her advice. Be specific with your prayers.
Don't just say pray for me.
Exactly. Be specific. Because she literally had to lean on their faith, their specific prayers, to get through. She tapped into that Philippians 4 promise of peace, but through her community's intercession. It's such a clear picture of letting others' strength cover you when yours is gone.
That's powerful. Letting others pray the specifics when you can't even form the words.
Yeah. And speaking of God showing up through others, the story that really ties things together, for me at least, is the one about the prophetic word. It spans years.
Oh, the Psalm 91 story. Yes.
Mhm.
Tell us about that.
Okay, so years before all this crisis hit, this stranger, a Deacon Robert, gives her this word from Psalm 91, protection, refuge, all that.
And she kind of brushed it off initially?
Yeah, she didn't think much of it. Fast forward to the thick of the divorce, the absolute bottom, and suddenly God starts sending that exact same scripture to her again and again
They're different people.
through multiple friends. Ann Voskamp, Chrissy Starling, Irene Rollins, different people, unconnected to each other, all sending her Psalm 91.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's chills.
Isn't it? And then she even saw Psalm 91 verse 1 painted on a wall at a women's shelter she was visiting.
No way.
Yes, it's this incredible thread showing that even if people from your past hurt you, even if trust has been broken, God keeps sending new people, safe people,
Yeah.
strangers even. And he confirms his presence, his protection.
That's incredibly hopeful that God doesn't give up on sending help.
Exactly. And that brings us to the final challenge, really. The takeaway for the listener, for you.
Which is?
Having received this kind of help or understanding the need for it, the call is now to become that helper for someone else.
To be the good friend.
To be someone's Melissa and Ann. Those were the friends who literally coached her through breathing during a massive panic attack right before she had to go on stage.
Wow. Holding someone through that kind of fear.
Yeah. And being that friend, it takes practice. It means really committing to deep listening, genuine kindness, being dependable, forgiveness that's huge.
And being a cheerleader.
Absolutely. Wearing the pom-poms, celebrating wins, offering encouragement, basically showing up the way Jamie and Jessica showed up for her in that hotel room. Fully present, no judgment, just with homeness.
So it comes full circle. Receive community, build community, be community.
That's it. And she wraps it up with 5 keys for thriving: vulnerability, presence, encouragement, prayer, and growth. Simple words, but profound in practice.
Definitely. Vulnerability, presence, encouragement, prayer, growth. But if you boil this whole deep dive down, the big message is pretty clear, isn't it?
Yeah. Hiding is easy. It feels safer sometimes. But connection, that's where the healing actually happens. It's revolutionary, like you said earlier.
So if Collier's right, and hiding really is the kryptonite to healing, maybe the final thought for you listening is this. Who is just one person you could be truly vulnerable with this week?
And maybe, what's one specific thing, practical help, an emotional need, a prayer request that you've been too afraid to actually ask them for?
Something to think about. A small step away from hiding. Thanks for joining us. Subscribe for more bookish adventures and hit that like button if you enjoyed the ride. Don't forget to share the knowledge, spread the word.